Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you. I'm Dr. Paul, and this is my beautiful wife, Lynn. And we're going to be doing some educational videos on plasma energy. Today we're starting out with something new. It's called Shungite. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it, but I'll let Lynn give you a brief introduction.
Okay, well, before we get too far into this, let's ask Paul first, what is plasma energy?
Well, plasma energy is the energy of the universe. It's what keeps the planets from bumping into each other, and it keeps them maintaining their proper orbits and proper distances. Plasma energy has been around for a long, long time. I knew a physicist that worked for a private lab it's been about 40 years ago now, and he told me that he was working with plasma energy. He couldn't tell me anymore because he had a non-disclosure agreement that he signed as a condition of his job, but he did tell me that he was working with plasma energy, and I know he was working in space travel. So it's been around a long time. It just has not been in the arenas where regular people circulate. The universities do not teach anything about it. The only ones who know about it are the military and the big corporations who, like Lockheed Martin and those who deal in space and aerodynamics. The rest of us are left in the dark. It's a very useful thing, but it's been kept secret for some unknown reason. Plasma energy is something that we can all take advantage of and use, and the purpose for these videos, and we're going to be doing a whole series of these on different applications for plasma energy. The whole purpose of these is to get the word out so that the common people can use a very productive science that has been hidden from us.
So Paul, how do we put plasma energy into the hands of other people? What is it you do with plasma energy?
We take common metals, plants, herbs, medicinal compounds, and make them into a monoatomic state so that we can utilize the plasmatic fields and capture that energy that comes off of those monoatomics and package it in such a way, for instance, in this little vial, that we can use, that people can very easily incorporate into their daily lives and take advantage of all of those benefits.
Now, when you have a vial like this, where did the water come from that's in that vial, and what is that water going to do?
The water that we use in these is from a mountain spring here in Montana where we live. It's up the road about 12 miles, and we go up there and get the pure mountain spring water to make the Gans material that we put in these vials.
And is this what you've got in this big jar over here?
This big jar contains the plasma water of Shungite and silver, Shungite and silver, and you can see the settlement on the bottom, and when you shake it up, you can see that it's a very fine powdery material at the bottom, and that charges the water. It puts the plasmatic field energy into the water, and that's the energy that we use. We don't use the GANs at the bottom, the gas in atomic nanosolid state. We leave that in the jar, but we just use the water. And that water lasts, the energy in that water lasts longer than you or I is going to last. So we don't have to worry about it wearing out, and you don't have to buy it every month or every week. You buy it one time and it'll last forever. So it's not something that you have to have a subscription to and you get a package every month. No, that's not the way it works. It's one time, you do it yourself.
Okay, and so when we send this to people, these are the vials that we send out when the weather is good where we live. And when the nighttime temperatures, daytime temperatures drop below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, this is what we send. Now you can see it's obviously much bigger, and the only reason it's so big is I had to find something that was BPA free, and it is plastic. These small vials are glass, and the glass, it breaks. We've tried it 3 years in a row. Temperature drops to a certain level, and somebody contacts us and says, I got a broken vial. So we switch over to these in the wintertime. I tested these. I filled them up with water, put them in the freezer. They were frozen solid. I took them out and threw them on the floor, and they didn't break. And we had no breakage as far as sending it to people anywhere across the country, no matter what the temperatures were. Go ahead, Paul, if you want to talk about what we have sitting here with the Shungite.
Well, what we have here is a protective device to protect you from the electromagnetic frequencies that are put off by Wi-Fi, cell phone towers, power lines, the electronic soup that we live in these days with all the computers and the cell phones and everything, that the environment that we're around. And these little stickers here, there's a double sticky thing on the back, and these go on your cell phone.
Now those can also go on TVs, laptops, computers,
right,
microwave ovens, iPads. So that size is going to work on anything like that.
Right. And these bigger ones are for the electric panel that comes into the back of your house that has a lot of you have smart meters that put off electromagnetic fields, And these alter those fields so that they're not harmful. They actually put off a beneficial field. And these pendants that you can wear around your neck have the Shungite, all of these have the Silver Gans water and the little magnets in them. The Silver Gans water, the little magnets, and the Shungite, all three together, really change the torsion fields of the electronic frequencies that have ill effects on our bodies. It changes them to where they do not have ill effects on our bodies. Now, this is a plain pendant with just a magnet in the back and Silver Gans water. This is the same thing, but this one has lapis crystal in it. And this one is the same thing, but it has Amazonite crystals in it. And each of these crystals have special benefits, such as clarity of mind and arthritis benefits, things like that. But you can look them up. They're all online. You just look up lapis, look up Amazonite, and there's information on all of these online. I've also used the Shungite in conjunction with this pyramid you see back here behind me. Now, I've got a Shungite capstone on there, and around the base on the floor I've got 3 groups of 3 of these little Shungite stones. And what we're doing here is using the sacred geometry of the 369 numbers to enhance the torsion fields of the pyramid. The Russians have done a lot of experimentation with this pyramid, and they have put their agricultural seeds in there before planting, and their yields on those seeds that were in the pyramid were 50 to 100% greater than the seeds that were not in the pyramid. And I got the dimensions for this from Charlie Zeiss, who has a website called onlypvcpyramids.com. And he's got all the dimensions that he deciphered from the Russian scientists' work. And he gives that all out free, or you can buy a pyramid from him. But I made this one myself using his dimensions, and added the Shungite to it, and I'm using that to enhance and strengthen all of the products that we make, including these Shungite pendants, and I've got some Gans water in here that I drink every day that sits in this pyramid. It needs to be in there about 2 hours before it gets a permanent torsion field. And I just happen to leave them there all the time just because it's handy.
Now you have rocks around the bottom of the pyramid. What are you doing with those?
Well, those
they're little rocks like this.
Yeah, those along with the Shungite capstone create a torsion field that enhances the normal torsion field of the pyramid itself. So it's just making the pyramid stronger as far as the energy goes, and therefore making the products that sit in there overnight have a stronger torsion field of the proper rotation so that they're more effective for our uses.
And you put everything you make in there for a period of time after you've made it.
Yeah, everything that we make, we put in the pyramid and leave it overnight. It only needs about 2 hours, but we leave it overnight, and then it's ready to use after that.
Now, one of the things that you can also do with the Shungite, once you have the Shungite water, which comes to you this way or this way, and I'll mention it goes this way if you live outside of the country. And what you do with it is you take a good quality spring water, good quality well water, filtered water, or distilled water, and you put these patches on either side. You can tie them on, you can put a rubber band around them, you can tape them on, and the what's been inside the patches has been treated with the New Tech frequency relief water, and then it's sealed in a plastic baggie, and then everything on the outside is sealed again with plastic packing tape, clear packing tape. So those are ready to go on a jar, and they'll change the water in a jar. Now, once you have that water in a jar changed, I call this your mother source, okay? Then you can take and you can fill the vials if you're going to give some to friends or neighbors, or you can fill an extra vial. And as you see in the bottom of this spray bottle, I've got a vial of New Tech frequency relief. What I do with this spray, I heard that people were taking the Shungite powder and putting it in paint and painting their exterior walls as a layer of protection where in their dwellings. Well, that's all well and good, but I'm a lousy painter and I don't really care to paint, and I make a mess when I paint. So it's way easier for me to get a spray bottle of New Tech frequency relief water and just go around and spray the walls, the exterior walls that I want to have that protection with. So these are all the different things you can do. Now, you can also drink this water, and if you think about it, you're wearing a pendant, you have a pendant, you have one of the magnets on your cell phone, but if you're drinking the water, it's also just another layer of an added protection for the electromagnetic frequencies that we're completely surrounded with, whether it's something as commonplace that many people have been used to for years, like a microwave oven, all the way up to the proposed 5G cell towers, which many doctors are coming out worldwide saying this has not been tested for humans to be around. It has a serious set of side effects for humans and animals and insects. So you need to do a little research on the EMFs and the 5G and what that is all about. And while we're talking about the effects of the Shungite, talk about the beekeeper, Paul, that you worked with the Shungite.
There's this guy in Florida. He's got a farm and he's got beehives, and he was telling me that he lost a hive of 10,000 bees to hive beetles. I don't know what hive beetles are because I've never been a beekeeper, but he said they get in the beehives and kill the bees. So I've heard that Shungite makes the bees stronger, makes them produce more, and makes them more healthy and resistant to environmental toxins. And so I told him, well, let's try this Shungite. So I sent him some Shungite powder along with some Silver Gans water, and he mixed it all together and sprayed it in his beehives and put some powder out on the floor of the hives and stuff. And he said that it killed all of the hive beetles, and then the bees started coming back, and then he repopulated the hive, and he said that they were doing well. The bees were happy, and he gave some to his neighbor. His neighbor was having a problem also, and his neighbor was real happy with it. They both said that their bees were stronger and producing more. And so that's a real benefit, and I don't know exactly why it works that way, but it does, and it really benefits the beekeepers and the bees, and it helps to protect the bees in the areas of heavy electromagnetic frequencies.
And didn't you also send him some of the little Shungite rocks?
Yeah, I sent him some of those little rocks too, and he put those in the entrance to the beehive, and the bees have to walk over them or through them in and out of the hive, and they like them. They rub on them and crawl over them, and they seem to like them, and they're beneficial. So that's a new twist, and it's great.
So what we do with Plasma Energy Solution is that we do have specials quite often. Generally every month I'll come up with something, and if you happen to be watching this video, it was done in July of 2019, and we have a special running for this month with receiving some of the Shungite things as a bonus when you order the Plasma Energy Station. And to find out a lot more about what we're making, if you go to plasmaenergysolution.com, we have blogs on there, we have frequently asked questions, we have testimonials, we have other videos. Some of them are interviews that Paul and I have done with other online journalists, and there's just a wealth of information there. If you go to the products list, click on shop and then go to the products list, and we're going to continue to do some videos over a period of time, and there's all kinds of things that we're addressing. For instance, anxiety relief, and this isn't only for people, it's for your pets too. And then we have, thank you, that's the paper I was looking for. We've got, a new one we've just come out with also is Lyme disease relief. We have something for eyes, and we'll do this in a future video, but you might just give a little blurb about what has been working for you with the eye formula.
Yeah, I was diagnosed with cataracts 3 years ago, and I've been using a combination of CO2, zinc, and copper Gans water, along with the Gans of amino acid and hemoglobin, and I just renewed my driver's license with no glasses and no contact lenses. My cataracts are gone. and I could read without glasses, and I could see fine, and I can drive fine. I was having a problem when I was diagnosed with cataracts. I was having a problem driving because I couldn't see well enough to drive safely. But now I'm 3 years older and I don't have cataracts anymore, which is unheard of. The only cure for cataracts that the medical establishment knows about is surgery.
Well, and you did that on animals, so that was your background too.
That was my background, is because I'm a veterinarian. I did eye surgery and removed cataracts from animals because that's the way I knew how to do it. And I didn't know anything about plasma energy. And that's the same way it is now with our doctors and our veterinarians. They know nothing about plasma energy, and they think it's all bogus and hocus pocus because the universities will not teach it and will not learn about it, will not embrace it.
Well, but you've had a lot of success that we'll also cover in future videos as far as managing the health of your kidney transplant, managing the type 1 diabetes you were diagnosed with 34 years ago. So there have been a lot of ongoing benefits, but one of the things I know Paul would say, and I would say also, with the cataracts, this was not an overnight thing. And you used the drops like for 4 or 5 months before you really started to see a change.
Right.
But you used them twice a day, every day, and just kept on with it. And then what happened?
Well, then all of a sudden I noticed that I was starting to see better. After about 4 months or so, I was starting to see better, and then the improvement got more rapid and more rapid, and after about 1.5 years, I had clear vision again. I still use the drops, I guess just because I'm afraid the cataracts will come back if I quit. I don't know if they will or not, but because I haven't quit.
Well, and why
you know,
would
if it's working, don't fix it. I mean, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. So.
Okay, well, we want to thank you for watching our video today, and we're going to be doing a series of these, like Paul said, and we'd appreciate it if you share the videos with others. If you like what you saw, give us a thumbs up. We'd appreciate your subscribing to our channels, and you can, once again, you can see our website at plasmaenergysolution.com.
And thank you again. Be sure and give us the thumbs up on this, because we need all the backslapping and support we can get. This is a lot of work, and we want people to be able to take advantage of all of this information that is not available mainstream.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.